First-person shooters has become a phenomenon in the video game for online gaming today. From your Call of Duty to your Battlefield to your Halo or whatever you prefer, the first-person shooter genre has really gained exposure since, the early 90s and the late 80s. With that in mind, I decided to make a list of the top 10 shooters that define the first-person shooter genre. These shooters are the ones that help embrace first person shooters or set a standard what defies first person shooters, and the standards are used in other shooters today. You may not like them or you may love them, but they have made their mark in the first person shooter genre and they are not going anywhere anytime soon. So here's the list and I hope you enjoy it. Alright, number 10 on the list has to go to GoldenEye 007 for the Nintendo 64. The James Bond franchise enjoyed no minimal success on home consoles over the years, but it was this 1997 game by Rare that brought the tuxedo-wearing M16 agent to the mainstream forever. GoldenEye deeply fleshed out single-player campaign was filled with perks like time bonus and special characters unlocks. But crucially, the game featured one of the most addictive and innovative multiplayer components ever, resulting in weekend-long marathons of grenade tossing and golden gun hunting. Here's a fun experiment. Go back, play the title now. See how quick your jaw drop at the snail pace everyone's moving at. Good stuff, huh? But try and think back on how many hours you burnt on this game back in the day. Alright, number 9 on this has to go to Ubisoft Far Cry 3. This game was good for so many reasons. Chief among them is that you, as a protagonist, are not some special force, military force of nature. You're a bro. You even get a bro name, Jason Brody. A wussy frat boy that is thrusted into a plot that sees you grow into a relentless jungle stalking Tarzan. Saving your friends from pirates in an open world island that is generally rewarded in exploration, fighting motherfucking tigers, and the introduction of an actually two-dimensional villain in the form of Vaz. Still having me playing this game as of right now. Alright, number 8 on the list has to go to EA's 2005 release of Battlefield 2. With the introduction of widespread broadband connection in the mids, developers were able to rethink how they approach multiplayer modes in video games. Single-player campaigns became an afterthought as developers began building games around online modes exclusively. Battlefield 2 was one of those games, all but requiring players to look like telemarketers by wearing headsets for a strategic edge. It won numerous awards for being the best PC game of 2005 and has spawned multiple sequels since then. Alright, number 7 on the list goes to Borderlands. Written off by publisher 2K Games as a assumed flop, Borderlands was quietly released in October 2009 in hopes that it might piggyback on some of the fourth quarter holiday sales. What it did was piggyback right into the cultural mainstream and became a monstrosity success story, coining the term RPG first person shooters, or RPS for, fans' sakes. Gearbox role-playing shooter took players to the highly stylized street art inspired world of Pandora, Mad Max meets treasure hunting in one of the most memorable titles on the list. Alright, do you like shooting stuff? How about Nazis? You still yawning at the mention of both of those? Well, you better cover your mouth and recognize. Kiss the Pink Ring of ID Software, a trailblazing title from the Nevada era that arguably one of the best first-person shooters on the map. Hell, if that alone doesn't make you a fan of Wolfenstein 3D, you crazy. Consider that you get to run around a castle and eventually have a final encounter with a quad Gatling gun equipped Adolf Hitler? Cyborg Hitler? Man, we must have missed that in history class because I ain't never seen that. But here, maybe I was homeschooling or something because I probably still think World War II was a government conspiracy or something because in this game they made World War II look good, and that's why it's number 6 of the best shooters of all time. There have been so many permutations of video games depicting war over the years that the genre have become to be a little bit stale. At least when modern warfare arrived and inspired the imaginations, or at least the profanity-filled triads of millions of gamers on the internet-enabled consoles. The fourth Call of Duty ditched the World War II settings of the previous iterations and went Fox News blunt in the Middle Eastern politics, concocting in a complete fictional international crisis that taught millions of young gamers that winning a war is as simple as getting a kill streak or calling in an airstrike. Thank you, Activision, for ruining online gaming with Call of Duty. All right, number 4 on the list has to go to 2K Games BioShock. BioShock came on the scene in 2007 with one of the amazing stories about a man who finds himself fighting his way through a beautiful, creepy underwater utopia while saving, or for more malevolent-minded players, harvesting little girls for chemical currency called Adam. The game blew the doors open, not just in first-person shooter mechanics, but also with regards to how storytelling can alter the impact of a video game, and especially a first-person shooter with a voiceless protagonist. Of course, adding 40s era guns and combat alternate plasmas helped made the game even more better. What's more fun than shocking your enemies with lightning, blasting them with water to electrocute them as you do it? The more religious, social, and Andrew Ryan infused politic components all add the weight and length of this now classic title. All right, number 3 on the list has to go to Doom. Doom appears seemingly out of nowhere as the spiritual successor to ID Software Wolfenstein 3D title a year earlier. Instead of going around killing Nazis, however, you were a space marine looking to save your cadets from a mysterious alien uprising from hell. Yes, that's right, I said hell. And sure, Dead Space may have crippled some of its plots from this classic game, but imitation is the most sincere form of flattery, especially in video games, where the technology grows and the fundamentals stays the same. Of course, it's a case of suffering from success. Doom's effect on the industry was wide-reaching, goading a whole new subculture within the industry to begin churning out similar games cut from the same cloth. The series has fallen on rocky times in recent history, and hopefully they can find a way to reclaim their former glory in the. Okay, number two on the list has to go to Microsoft and Bungie's Halo Combat Evolved. One could make the case that the first Halo title was the first game to truly usher in drama-based, narrative-driven first-person shooter. With the orchestra scores, massive firefights, environments that dwarfed the players, alongside 3D graphics converged to form a complete defining experience. Bungie went all in with the original Xbox launch title, introducing Master Chief as the face of next generation gaming, and creating a full realization and an addictive multiplayer component that had us playing from hours and upon hours and hours. You even had us going to friends' houses for System Link LAN parties for weeks, then months, then years on end. Need proof? Try the multitude of titles since the original game release and the unrelenting hype between releases as evidence of the game's long lasting legacy. That it is what it is. This is what Halo is all about. And Halo is not going anywhere anytime soon. Alright, here at number one, Half-Life is considered one of the best titles of all of gaming history. We can argue that the finer points of Katamari Democracy later. The title received more than 50 Game of the Year awards and helped make horn rimmed glasses the de facto eyewear of an alien killer, scientist. Gordon Freeman taught millions of gamers what you can do with a crowbar, and it was a lesson they have taken in stride. If you don't know that, try, for example, fighting off an invading alien horde teleporting into the Black Messiah compound while holding off Black Ops soldiers attempting to cover a government secrets with a tool that usually used for opening shipping crates. Impressive? Yes, the hell it is. And Half-Life brought that element to games, and probably, like I said, one of the most acclaimed games of all time. And still waiting to see Half-Life 3. I hope it's in the works soon. Don't mess it up now, but just make it as good as Half-Life and Half-Life 2. So this is the list, everyone, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you think there's some old shooters that should have been on the list that didn't make my list, please leave it in the comment area. And if you want to stay tuned for more top 10, picks and lists for me, please subscribe and keep it gaming, everyone.